Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the State of Vernon Herald and the Lincoln for sponsoring this event, and all of you that have come out tonight to look at this important race. It is important in our community. And all the other openings I've talked about is what I plan to do. But let me back up those plans and some of the things that I've accomplished and give you a sense of the abilities that I bring to the table as your next mayor. In community involvement, I've been involved in many clubs, associations, and activities within our community with Mount Vernon Schools Foundation, the Friendship House, the Skagit Valley Festival, Kiwanis, and many others. And I truly believe that community involvement is critically important to get a sense of what Mount Vernon is really like. The ability to build lasting partnerships and collaborate efforts with the Mount Vernon School District, the Downtown Association, Skagit County Parks and Fair, the Youth and Family Services, our court systems and police departments, and other departments within our city. Partnerships are an important community building tool that helps save resources and money. Provided leadership under 3 different mayors. And if you want to talk about a great learning experience, that is definitely one. Each of these mayors have brought a different leadership and style and passion to the office. With all 3, I've been able to produce the same level of services and provide a great park system for the city of Mount Vernon. We have not always agreed on decisions. However, once a decision is made, we've been able to move on and get the work done. I found fundamental alternative funding strategies with grant programs for parks and recreation, and have managed projects and grants over $12 million for our park system. Buying the Stokely Water Tower for $407 and turning it into a cell site and making about $58,000 a year for our Parks Capital projects is one of my best projects. And to help build the Parks Foundation to offset funding for our parks. In innovative programs that save money, the creation of the City Work program that uses alternative sentencing, and last year alone saved $135,000 in jail bill savings alone. Also helping create the graffiti abatement program that takes our youth and covers up graffiti on the weekends so our employees do not have to. I've had many leadership roles in every flood fight that we've fought since 1990, working in the Emergency Operations Center as the policy group and as the logistics chief responsible for all of the volunteer materials, supplies that help keep Mount Vernon safe from a flooding event. And developed and managed 27 operational budgets and countless capital projects. We've had to make tough decisions to balance our budgets in recent years. However, I've always balanced the budget with a surplus at the end of the year going back into the beginning fund balance. And I will continue to maintain that budgeting philosophy as mayor. I have the experience, I am qualified, and am I ready to be your next mayor for the city of Mount Vernon. Thank you.
Roger, let me know if that'll work. All right, thank you again to the Skagit Valley Herald and the Lincoln Theater for hosting, and a sincere thanks for all of you for being here and being interested in Mount Vernon. I am running for this office because I am inspired by core values of integrity, inclusion, and commitment to the greater good. My life experience is unique. It has provided me with broad understanding, patience, and continually challenged me to grow in thought, which is a distinctive asset. My husband Dan and I settled in Mount Vernon a decade ago after his retirement from the Marine Corps. We've been married 20 years and have 2 amazing teenagers. As part of Dan's service, we moved frequently. In Malaysia, I managed a retail store inside the embassy, importing goods from the US and Australia, and partnered with local artisans to consign their wares. Then served for 5 years as a caseworker with Navy Relief, providing budget counseling and authorized loans and grants to our military members and their families in need. I began working for Mount Vernon Police Department in February of 2002 and worked directly with the public, city employees, and in our neighborhoods to build strength and prevent crime. There, I was successful in building confidence and partnerships with our team of block watch captains. I was the spokeswoman, organized responses to graffiti, facilitated programs, developed Block Watch curriculum, and taught law enforcement statewide. My current work is in healthcare, the #1 employer and economic driver in the city of Mount Vernon. I began at Hospice of the Northwest in 2010 and am responsible for outreach and education to our region, to the 4 counties that we serve. As a member of the administration team, I head projects to improve efficiency, and I problem solve. Through volunteerism, I know what it feels like to be part of something bigger than self. I have enjoyed singing with Skagit Opera, being a parent volunteer, school board member, and hospice trustee. My experience as a mediator with the Dispute Resolution Center has proven to me the power of people to find common ground and move forward in the midst of conflict. But that's probably enough of the laundry list. Ultimately, this election is not about me alone. It is about the potential of our city. It is about our legacy. You have 2 very different candidates for mayor. My administration and organization skills are modern day, fresh, and valuable. I claim that we cannot be fixed on the past, but can take control of our own future, honoring our history and providing an enjoyable community for all. Thank you for your consideration.
Jill, can you hear me?
Yes.
What plan do you have to make Mount Vernon a more livable city and improve the quality of life for its residents?
My vision for Mount Vernon is broad. I believe that we can provide economic stability by devoting ourselves to supporting independent business. I believe that we can provide a wide range of cultural activities through not only private investment, but investment from all of you and those who want those types of things in our community. One thing that I'm very strong about with our economy, since that seems to be the #1 thing people ask about, is that we can stabilize our economy on our own. If we support independent business, we can build a base that will survive. It's been proven in other communities. I was privileged to attend a presentation here at the Lincoln Theater, the 350 Project, where the gal was invited by the downtown businesses and explained that if we picked 3 businesses that we would hate to see go away from Mount Vernon, and we were to spend $50 at each business, that we can save our economy. If we spend $100 at a business, 68 of those dollars stay here in our local community. I think that's one way that we can stabilize and provide just economic growth and stability for years to come.
What plan do you have to make Mount Vernon a more livable city and improve the quality of life for its residents?
Well, one of the things that we talked about is the downtown redevelopment reinvestment plan. And once that's complete, the downtown can redevelop and rebuild. But the other concept is one of the ones that hasn't been talked about a lot. It's called the third place. If you look at your home as the first place, you look at your work as the second place, and then you create downtown as the third place where people can come and gather and look at the parks and the plaza that will be planned down here, coffee shops and small restaurants that they can enjoy and come to, creating a third place concept. And when we do the redevelopment and we look at retail and residential downtown, it will make a big difference for downtown as well. The other thing is I want to look at technology. Mount Vernon has a fiber optic line loop that goes through Mount Vernon. And if we look at bringing in some of the technology, I think there was an article in the newspaper about coast-based locations. I think those things can really catch on in the downtown area. These people come in and they work, they walk to coffee, they walk to lunch, and they walk to go for entertainment afterwards. And if we can create those spaces in our downtown community, it will create a whole new quality of life. Outside of the downtown area, we have a great park system. And I continue, we have 27 acres up off of Division Street that is yet to be developed. We have Bonnie Park that's yet to be developed. So creating those areas, and then small neighborhood parks within a half mile walking distance to the citizens is something we still need to work on. So we work on those, we work on the downtown, I think the quality of life will start returning here in the city of Mount Vernon. Not that it's not a good place to live right now, don't get me wrong.
What would be your approach in supervising employees and managing the $45 million annual budget?
Well, it's about teamwork, and it's about situational leadership and situational management. I've been able to manage our Parks Department with 12 full-time employees. Actually, we've had more, but we've had to cut back a number of different other employees in other organizations. And I have a situational management approach where sometimes you have to be a coach, sometimes you have to be a leader, sometimes you have to be a father, and sometimes you just have to kick somebody in the rear to get them to go. But looking at all of those and dealing with everybody differently, we have a number of different departments and department heads that work very well together right now. But moving a $45 million budget is no different than moving $1.5 million budget that I manage right now without capital projects. It's still the same basic philosophy in managing people. You hire the best people to do the job. You tell them what you want, and you get out of the way, and you let them do it. I am probably at a 30,000-foot management level, is how I manage my staff. And I let those folks come in and do their things. I stay out of the way. But when we come into problems, when we come into situations, we step in, and we take care of the problem, and we move on. So, managing the Parks Department as opposed to managing the whole department, I don't see as a problem because it's a management philosophy of situational management and situational leadership.
What would be your approach in supervising employees and managing a $45 million budget?
I think I've worked for the city of Mount Vernon, so I know what a valuable asset that our city's employees are right now and how hard they work. I would like to give them a voice in things that could be made more efficient, how we could do things better in the city. They are our best asset for knowing how to do things better. So the first thing I plan to do is to get to know them, get to know the frontline employees, the folks that really represent us. For example, the receptionist at the police department, that is the first person someone has contact with when they contact the police. It's critical for officer safety, when you think about it, that that person that comes to the department is received with respect and is listened to and has their concerns answered. So I would love to get to know them from the ground up. I would then love to meet with the supervisors and find out what has been working and what things they think that can improve, and then empower them, give them just a feeling that they can use their talents. They've been hired for a reason, and let them run with it. And then the department heads as well. That's where the central team really takes hold of, and I would want to make sure that they can trust me, knowing that I'm going to listen to what they have to say, but that I'm not going to react emotionally, make them feel unheard. So that's really big. But we're forgetting a part of the city government that's also important. That's our city council, which I believe has been denied a significant voice in governing. I hope to form a very close partnership with the City Council, as it is their responsibility to formulate policies for our city. So that's very important to me. Another part of our workforce is our volunteers in several different divisions. So they need to feel valued. They need to feel that their mayor is concerned, that turns out for events and wants to be with them. $45 million budget. I have managed budgets that are much smaller than that. But again, the principles are the same. I have been concerned with every dime that an organization spends, and would be concerned with the city as well.
You touched on the next question a little already.
Okay.
Maybe you can expand on it. How do you see the mayor's role in relation to the city council?
The mayor's role is, if for better lack of a term, the chief administrative officer to enact and administer the policies of the city council. Not to say that the mayor would not come and present ideas, but as I said before, I believe that city council has been denied a significant voice. City council meetings are their meetings, and so it's very important that they are able to provide input. I would love to support the city council more in obtaining input from residents and passing along things that I hear. Two-way communication is very key, not messages or Facebooking each other. I think direct communication with city council is very, very important. And I plan to work directly with them and for you to enact what the city wants to have happen.
How do you see the mayor's role in relation to the city council?
Well, the mayor's role in the city council meetings is to lead the city council, meetings and parliamentary procedures and so on and so forth. The council's role is really, it's called a city council meeting for a reason, because it's the city council's meeting. And you need to run the meetings just like, well, let me give you a couple of experiences with the Western Washington University Alumni Association. I was the board president, but I had 27 board members, and it was really their organization, and I was just leading it. So we'd get together, and communication is key. The key to what I believe is cohesiveness is giving as much information as possible to the city council. They are elected officials as well. My role is to carry out the policies and the procedures on a day-to-day basis. The day-to-day operations of the mayor's role is working on day-to-day operations, obviously. City council is responsible for budgeting, budget allocations, and making policy. So I would make sure, one of the things that I would add is a little bit more into the consent agendas, where they have an idea of what they can look at, and we can pass those consent agendas, or if they have a question, they can pull it off. But my idea is to bring a lot more communication and flood the council with information. They can pick and choose what they want to go on. So I've been a team builder, and I'm going to build the team with the city council as the mayor moves forward, and we're going to move that team forward. And one of the first things to do in the first 100 days is to bring the city council into a retreat setting and talk about our goals and our future visions for what City of Mount Vernon is, and then bring the staff in after that as well. Thanks.